What all of these systems do, every single one, is it exploits our own natural tendencies in human beings to get and want feedback. And that feedback, chemically speaking, is the release of dopamine in your brain.
Society really needs to understand that operating and getting this chemical into balance is what's going to enable you to actually get focused and stay consistently motivated.
Cheap dopamine is everywhere. The scroll, the notification, the sugar hit, the binge clip, the quick laugh. We don't even think about it anymore. We just consume, react, repeat. But what if those tiny hits of pleasure are slowly destroying your ability to focus, killing your motivation, and rewiring the chemistry of your brain? One tap at a time? 30 days ago, I decided to cut all of it. No short-form videos, no social media, no junk food, no gaming, no pointless phone checks. Nothing designed to give me instant reward for zero effort. Just real life, real boredom, real silence. And the result shocked me. Mentally, physically, emotionally. Day 1, my reaction time test was embarrassing. Day 30, you're about to see the difference. And it's not what I expected. This is what happened when I removed cheap dopamine from my life for 30 days, and what it revealed about the modern brain. 1. The problem: how cheap dopamine controls us. Before starting this 30-day challenge, I didn't think I had a dopamine problem. I wasn't doing drugs. I wasn't gambling. I wasn't some energy drink gamer locked in a basement. I was just doing what everyone else does. Checking my phone, watching short videos, eating snacks when bored, scrolling at night, scrolling in the morning, scrolling when nothing was wrong, and sometimes scrolling even when something was wrong just to escape it. But the truth is, cheap dopamine doesn't look dangerous. It looks normal. It feels harmless. It hides inside everyday habits. A 10-second video, a notification ping, a bag of chips, a quick laugh on TikTok, a like, a swipe, a little reward over and over again every few minutes. The problem isn't that dopamine is bad. Dopamine is how the brain learns what feels good. The problem is that the brain treats all dopamine the same. It doesn't care if the reward came from finishing a workout or watching a meme for 3 seconds. Over time, your brain starts to prefer the easiest source of dopamine, not the one that gives long-term satisfaction. That's why goals feel harder, why attention feels weaker, why boredom feels painful, why thinking without stimulation feels impossible. So before the challenge even began, I learned something important. I wasn't addicted to my phone. I was addicted to the feeling my phone gave me. 2. Week 1, the crash. Nobody warns you about the first week wasn't peaceful. It wasn't productive. It wasn't some motivational self-improvement montage. It was withdrawal, and it hit harder than I expected. Day 1. I kept grabbing my phone without thinking, not to check anything, just because. My hand moved before my brain. That's not a habit, that's a trained reflex. Day 2. I felt restless. My brain seemed loud and empty at the same time. I couldn't focus for more than a few minutes. I opened the fridge 5 times just to look at food I didn't want. Day 3. Boredom felt painful, like my brain couldn't sit still. I realized I hadn't been bored in years. Not real boredom. Anytime a quiet moment appeared, I filled it with stimulation before I even knew I was doing it. This is where most people quit. Not because they lack discipline, but because they don't understand what's happening. When you cut off cheap dopamine, your brain doesn't instantly heal. It goes into panic mode. It expects fast rewards. When they don't arrive, everything feels slow, dull, pointless. This is the dopamine crash, the point where your reward system is starving. But here's the important part. This crash is proof that the brain has been rewired by cheap dopamine. If food, silence, or rest feels boring, that means your brain has forgotten how to enjoy life without constant stimulation. 3. Week 2 to 3, the brain starts rewiring. Around the second week, things didn't get easier. They got clearer. I wasn't fighting urges anymore. I was watching them happen. Instead of instantly reacting, I could notice the thought and let it pass. That alone felt like a superpower. Something else changed, my attention span. I could actually finish tasks without checking my phone. I could read a book for 30 minutes without my brain screaming for stimulation. I even caught myself enjoying silence, something I didn't know was possible. But the most surprising change was energy, not the fake caffeine kind, a deep, stable mental energy. I didn't feel motivated, I felt awake. I didn't need background noise to think. I could work in a quiet room and feel focused instead of uncomfortable. The science behind this is simple. When your brain stops getting instant rewards, it starts recalibrating. The dopamine baseline rises again. Normal things start to feel rewarding. A walk, a meal, a conversation, sunlight, progress on a project. Before they were too slow to compete with fast dopamine, now they become satisfying again. This is where I noticed something strange. I wasn't just more focused, I was more present. My mind wasn't jumping ahead to the next hit. I could actually feel things fully, taste food, hear sounds, process thoughts instead of skipping past them. And that's when the challenge stopped being about what I removed and started being about what I was finally able to feel again. 4. The physical changes: sleep, skin, mood, reaction. Time I expected mental changes, but I didn't expect physical changes. But they came anyway. The first one was sleep. Without late-night scrolling, my brain actually got tired at a normal hour. I fell asleep faster, slept deeper, and woke up without the phone hangover feeling. I didn't know that staring at screens before bed trains the brain to stay alert instead of shutting down. Now I felt rested. Next came mood. Before, I had random waves of stress or sadness for no reason. During the challenge, those emotional spikes faded. My mood was flatter, but healthier. No extreme highs, no random lows, just stable. Turns out, dopamine roller coasters don't just affect attention, they affect emotional regulation too. Then came something visual: my skin. Less snacking, less stress, better sleep. My skin literally looked healthier. Even my eyes looked less tired. But the most interesting change was reaction time. I tested it on day 1 versus day 30, and the difference was shocking. My brain processed visual signals faster. My tapping speed improved. My decision time dropped. When your attention isn't fragmented, your brain actually responds faster to the world. Cheap dopamine doesn't just steal your focus, it slows down your brain's efficiency. Removing it didn't just make my mind clearer, it made my nervous system sharper. That's when I realized something. Dopamine detoxing isn't about discipline or punishment. It's about giving the brain a chance to work the way it was designed to. 5. What I learned and what I'm keeping. After 30 days, I noticed something I didn't expect. I didn't want to go back. Not fully. The urge for constant stimulation was gone, and life felt less loud, less rushed, less scattered. I didn't need as much dopamine anymore, which meant real life felt richer. But here's the real takeaway. The goal isn't to avoid dopamine forever. Dopamine is necessary. It helps you grow, learn, build, create. The real goal is to break the addiction to easy dopamine so your brain can appreciate meaningful dopamine again. So I didn't quit technology. I didn't throw my phone away. What I did was set rules. No phone for the first and last hour of the day. No scrolling while eating. No notifications except calls and real people. 1 dopamine reward per day, but chosen, not automatic. Replace consumption with creation. Learning, writing, exercising. We are living in a world where our attention is being pulled apart, 1 notification at a time. The truth is simple. If you don't control your dopamine, something else will. Your brain is plastic. It can heal, it can rebuild, but only if you choose what shapes it. Before the rewiring becomes permanent, take back control. Check the description for 2 tools that actually help. Focus Me. Block distractions, reset habits, and build a brain that works for you instead of against you. Opal Stack. If you're building digital projects, this is hosting built for thinkers, makers, and creators who want speed, automation, and control over their work. If this video changed the way you see your own mind, hit subscribe, tap like, and turn on the bell, because this is just the beginning. protect your attention, rebuild your focus. Your mind wasn't designed to be a product. It deserves to be yours again.